Hello YouTube, this is the Java Programmer, and in this video I am going to develop out this instrument class a little bit more. And in the last video I ended with talking about indicators. And so I've thought about it a little bit, and in looking at different moving averages and different indicators like the MACD or stochastics or those kind of things, I realized that we don't necessarily need to create an indicator class, although we could. The thing that we might want to do is just get the data out of the instrument for that particular indicator. So in the case of a EMA, the exponential moving average, we would say, let's get the EMA for the chart type 10 seconds, and let's get 360 of those, which means basically let's get the EMA for the last hour. And what that's going to return is essentially an array of points, and we would plot those points on a graph, and they would be the EMA for that particular time frame. So every 10 seconds. However, in the case of like the MACD, it's a combination of multiple EMAs. So it would ask for the EMA of the 12 period moving average, as well as the EMA of the 26 period moving average, takes the difference of those and then takes the 9 period moving average of those, and then that creates a output that for every data point there's actually 3 points. You have the fast, the slow, and the signal. I think our data point class will work for the regular EMA, but when it comes to the more complicated indicators, we might need a point that actually represents that indicator. But we'll get to that. So for right now, the base thing that we need is to be able to generate an EMA. So fortunately, you can go online to maybe like Investopedia and read about how to calculate the EMA. But there's a library that does that for us. And so I'm going to go and install that library. So if we look over here, we'll go to our POM, go to dependencies, and what we want to add is one called ta-lib. And there it is. We'll grab the latest and save, and it should, if you look down here, it'll download it and bring that in. So what this library gives us the ability to do is we pass it an array of data, and it comes back and it gives us the calculation for us. So let's go ahead and get that going. Okay, now that we have talib installed, we need to write a wrapper class that will help us get data out that we're looking for. So if we, I typically like to do this as a utility. So let's create a new class called talib helper. And what this class is going to do, we use a linked list of data bars, and what we're going to want to do is part of this class is going to convert those into just a straight up array that talib can use. So let's first off look back at our test program. We still need to hold off on this well, let's write this. So in our data instrument, we say get EMA. Let's create these methods and classes. So create method, get EMA. I'm not gonna. Let's chart type and amount. And this is a class we need to create. So create. My mouse is acting weird. Create class models. Yep. Yep. Public double data point. All right, so we have this method. So let's create let's build out this method a little bit. So we want to use our own get history, chart type, and amount. That gives us bars, and then we're going to say talib helper dot. Well, let's create a new instance of that in this class. So private talib equals new helper. So talib dot. Well, we're doing an emap. We're doing an EMA. So EMA, passing it bars, and what this is going to do, it's going to return us. Well, let's make our helper actually give us back what we're looking for. So I can just say return that. So if we create this method over here, there we go. So let's look back through our files for a second here. So in our program, we have this linked list of data points. And let's just look for a second. I need to bring up my graph that we've talked about before. These data points are going to be the blue line, and what we're passing in to the get EMA is basically the red line, telling it specifically what we're looking for, so that when we get back this data points, we can plot that straight to the chart. Now we'll have to do the charting of this in a later video, but we're saying I want the EMA for S10 and whatever. So we need to, in our TA helper class, we're going to have to convert this bars into an array, because the talib only works with arrays. And then once we get the finalized array back, we're going to have to convert it back into a list of data points. So let's write those methods. Private. Let's see, we need a double convert. Let's see, convert bars to array. And that's going to take in a linked list of bars. Now, typically, when we're doing these calculations, the calculations based on industry are done on the close price of the bar. So let's say double array equals new double, and it's going to be bars dot get bars dot size. For data bar in bars. Can't do it this way because I need an index for the array. For int I equals 0, I is less than bars dot size I plus plus array sub I is equal to bars of bars dot get I dot get close. Oh, now we have the ask and the bid. Let's take the average of these two. So we take the ask plus the bid divided by 2. And we'll return array. So now we've converted these bars into an array. Let's write the code that's going to do the conversion for us. Well, ran out of time in this video. In the next video, we're going to keep working on this TA lib helper. This is the Java Programmer, and thanks for watching.